Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Hillbilly Hobby. So let me show you what we're getting into today. So I saved y'all the trouble of tearing everything apart, but I haven't put it back together yet. But I'll walk you through that process. And we had a fan issue on the four-wheeler. It was running hot and the fan wasn't coming on. So I resolved that issue. I'll show you what I did. So we're gonna get down to it. And remember, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I do this for fun, and hopefully it helps somebody if they got the same problem. Makes it a little bit easier, quicker to troubleshoot, so they don't have to go through the painstaking process that sometimes it takes to discover what is actually the issue. All right, let's get into it. All right, like we said, got a couple things going on with the four-wheeler. So one of the things I did add a aftermarket light bar. So we'll get into that later. But the main thing for today's episode is I got her all tore apart. I won't tell you why. So we were riding the other night, and she was running hot on the temp gauge. And let me turn this on. So you see, it was if you saw it just a second ago, the temp gauge over here, it was all the way up. And normally after there's about like 3 squares, the fan kicks on. Well, the fan is up in here behind the radiator. So at first I had to research on how to even access this. This is a 2022 Cfmoto Cforce 400S, and so what you got to do to get there is there's plastic shielding up in here like this. So, and they're most of them are adhered with the body panel fasteners. So mostly everything is those, as you can see up in here and under there. Now there is one spot that is a Phillips head screw. So anyway, so you take these, now I ended up taking it out on both sides, taking these panels out on both sides, because the actual connector power source to that fan is actually more accessible from the other side. But I just want to show you, this side is the passenger side, and that is where your actual rad hose is at. So if you want to drain the coolant and do all that, you want to just take off the passenger side. You don't have to take both sides off. But just wanted to show you that and how they're stuck on there. I know that's just superficial, but and you got to take the front cowling little cover off to access the radiator. The radiator was full and clean, so I did check that. And then, like I said, I took the panels off on this side. You can see your overflow, and then there is better access to the fan. And then I traced the wiring out, made sure that the connectors were good. So all the connections were good. So that led me to then come up and check. First I checked our fuses, which is this little box right here. Check the fuse. You can see the fan's 15 amp, second one from that 10 on the bottom. Pulled it out, made sure that the fuse was good. The fuse was good. So then come over here, and this is actually your relay panel. So you got all your relays for fuel pump and starter, yada yada yada. So there's the fan relay, third one in. So what I did was I pulled it I pulled it out, and then I took the high beam relay and put in there. Just basically I got it up to temp, and the fan wasn't kicking on, so I pulled this relay and I put this relay in its place, and the fan kicked on. So that's how I discovered it was actually the relay. It wasn't anything else. There was no, all the wiring harnesses were all good, all the connectors were good and solid. Like I said, the fuse was good, and this was my last, like, what else could it be? So I just gave it a shot, just on a whim, because I pulled the old relay out, and it didn't look too bad, but AutoZone did have the relay I needed for this. It's part 19283, a Duralast, and that's what we got in there now, and it is working. I have out tested it, but this is the original relay that came out of it. And like I said, just looking at it, you really don't see any, anything that would lead you to believe that it was bad. So the only way I was able to determine that, obviously without a voltmeter, I do have one. I just was too lazy, I guess, to go grab it and do the resistance check and the 12-volt check when the key's on, yada yada, all that good stuff. So I was like, well, another option is just to switch out the relays and see if that's it, and that happened to be it. So it was a little bit of trial and error, and then, like I said, at least I narrowed it down by checking everything else, all the wiring and stuff. But in order to do that, you pretty much got to take all the body panel, well, the sheeting, the coating panels, the protective panels under the fender wells, basically. You got to take them off to get access to it. And like I say, once you determine, where all the push pins are, the body molding pins, you just trace them out, and you just remove all the ones required. Didn't have to do all of them. Like I said, there's certain ones. Now this side was the majority of them. The other side, I only had to take one of these out on the other side, but this side took both. And then it just behoove you to go ahead and you can get these off Amazon. These are those push pins, and there's like the part number, and you can get these on Amazon for like next to nothing. I think there's 50 to 100 in there. I think actually there's 100 in there. I think it was probably less than $4. It was like 3 something. So this is a good idea to get that way. You can replace them, because you can try the best to get them out, but some are, they're still going to be, obviously worn. I didn't break any of them, but I just prefer to put new ones back in. Like I said, it doesn't cost, the cost to put new ones in by trying to reuse your old ones, $3, for 100, easy day. So anyway, so that's what we did. So I got her back working. The fan does now come on when she gets up to temp. So I'm gonna button everything back up, and then we'll kick her on and get her up to temp, and you can hear the fan come on, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody, hang on just a sec. I'll get her buttoned up. All right, everybody, so I got everything buttoned back up. We're waiting for her to heat back up to temp, so we can hear this fan kick on. So got this little cool cup holder and cell phone holder. So those are always accoutrements you really want with a four-wheeler. So if you see, I put these new body pins, like I said, like push pins in. Got her all buttoned up under there, like it's supposed to, all brand new clippies. Got the light bar. Got the light bar on there. Got the rack put back on. Y'all have a great weekend. I want to get out of this here rain that we need so desperately. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all.